Um, how do your friends or your family back in New York, what do they think of you doing, being here? Just,
It's so funny because I was talking to it was my sister or my nephew just like 2 days ago, and I have I have a nephew who's like 5,
mm.
and in his mind he thinks like I'm like a big shot. He thinks I'm like, like an actor guy, like a
Oh, yeah,
star.
yeah.
My Uncle Mark in Alaska. So
Uh-huh.
Alaska's magic, and I'm kind of this legendary, figure. But he's only 5. But the rest I guess my mom was kind of proud of me because she was, you know, like a repressed theatrical type, a
Uh-huh.
drama queen, and so um, yeah, I think they're happy for me and my little successes.
Mhm.
Um, you know.
Is it so they think of Alaska as being kind of exotic? I think the rest of the
Totally.
continental U.S.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's exotic and it's kind of unknown, and there's a lot of misconceptions about it. And very few people have visited me here for some reason. You know,
It's a
I,
tough plane ride.
yeah, it is, it is. And I come from a wacky family, so I think part of the allure of Alaska is the self-imposed exile.
Oh, yeah.
The geographical isolation. So
Mhm.
you're really not going to have people, just drop in on you. But I wish they would. You know.
Do you think that the darkness during the winter sort of makes it hard mood-wise, depressive-wise? I
Oh,
know that's.
totally. There's a lot of drinking. I mean, if you have creature comforts and you have, videos and Netflix,
Mhm.
but you could tend to drink a lot, stay in, you put on weight, you eat too much, and if you're dysfunctional, like a lot of people are, that dysfunction will be enhanced by the cabin fever they call it.
Uh-huh.
So you could get into some really dark shit in the winter here. But it's difficult. We had a really sometimes we'll have like an endless winter where it just keeps snowing, and I mean this was a very very long winter. We
Yeah.
should be we're like a month behind here insofar
Mhm.
as the greening of
Mhm.
things, and then before you know it, it's a cruel joke. September, October will come, and we're going to be back in winter again.
Right.
So it's very strange. I mean, there's a comfort to that too. If you're into theater and
Mhm.
writing,
Mhm.
you have plenty of time. I
Mhm.
mean, when it gets dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you think it's really really late. You think it's 2 in the morning, but it's only 9.
Yeah.
You have a lot of time. Because you're home.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So it has its upside.
What has been the hardest thing in terms of that form for you? Coming from a different form from short stories, has there been any difficulty with the form of theater?
Um, no, the thing that kind of confounds me is it's like I read a lot of poetry too.
Mhm.
So theater, it's so compressed,
Mhm.
and theatrical literature is it's so tricky
Mhm.
because you're using time, you're using you know words, but people are speaking them, and you can do anything you want.
Mhm.
So it's very elusive and mysterious, and I know there's technique, and we learn stuff here, and we pick things up, but it's really, really difficult to do anything that comes out good.
Mhm.
Like people are writing plays all the time, and and the success rate is very low
Yeah.
of anything that's really good, and that's kind of strange. So, because you have all the time in the world to do something that's really good, so why don't you? Like, well, I'll talk about myself. Why don't I? How come I haven't written the good play yet? I mean, I've written good ones. I've written good
Yeah.
shorties,
Mhm.
some short ones that
Mhm.
were good enough and pretty good,
Mhm.
and a couple really good ones. But to write a full length play that satisfies everything, it takes, I guess, it takes a lot of work, and
Yeah. What is the challenge of that? You would think it would be a little bit easier. What
yeah, it should be easier. I don't know. I don't know if it's lack of ideas or you have to have a plot, and then you have to I'm really weak with plot.
Mhm.
The reason why I do good with the overnighters is because the limitations and the parameters that are offered and the cast, it's already then I'm forced to it's kind of like a found object collage.
Right.
I'm forced to take the pieces I have and use them,
Mhm.
and then use whatever skills I have to create something out of that. But if I was just given my own, left to my own devices,
Mhm.
I wouldn't really know where to start.
Mhm.
I say, oh, I'll write one about my, family based on my family. So then and then
Yeah.
And then I'd have to have, but that's not enough. You gotta, I don't know.
What's the best thing about theater for you? What do you like about it the best? Or the
Uh,
most, I should say.
oh, well, it's a crapshoot. Most of the time you go, it's not going to be so good. In
Yeah.
fact, a lot of times it's just a waste of time, and you regret being there. And you think, how could they do this? Didn't they check it first before they put it on? Or where's the director? I blame the director. The director obviously didn't understand anything about the plot. So just because there's people walking around in costumes on stage and they know their lines doesn't make a play. But when it is good, it's great. It's transformative. It's emotional. I mean, it does something no other art form does. So you get a feeling from it, and it's a unique thing that we don't get enough of in our life. And all those things that theater's supposed to do, when that happens, it's very rewarding, and you're really glad you went. So, you have to have faith to go to a play, the hope that it's going to deliver the goods and bring you, it could be an entertainment if it's really funny. I've seen some good, I just saw a really good one in Anchorage recently that was good. That play Red was pretty good, they did here.
Yeah.
I saw that at Cyrano's in Anchorage, and that was pretty good. The play itself is a little gimmicky, but, and it's like a different kind of play. It's not the dramatic play,
Yeah.
and I have questions about it, but the performance was good, and the writing was beautiful, and everything. It reminded me of Masterclass.
Yeah.
But
It reminded me of that too,
But
actually.
Terrence McNally.
Yeah.
Yeah.